Joining me now to weigh in on it all is NBC and Golf Channel sportscaster Mike Tirico. Mike, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Hi, Kelly. Good evening from Paris. We're here getting ready for 1 year out in the build-up to the Olympics, and
wow,
we had a sports bombshell drop on us over here.
Unbelievable. And yet, I mean, listen, Donald Trump, I saw a year ago he had told players of the PGA Tour to take the money because he thought they might end up combining. So perhaps it's just deal-making. What is the real significance of this? And what do you say to golf fans who are like, so is the PGA Tour now controlled by the Saudis and sort of must feel a little confused?
Yeah, there are a lot of answers that need to come, and some of them are going to come, at least for the membership of the tour, in a few hours when Jay Monahan has a players meeting at the Canadian Open, the RBC Canadian Open, which is happening this week. A lot of the guys who stayed on the PGA Tour, Kelly, had opportunities to take big money, 8, in some cases 9-figure deals. That's what was reported for Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods to jump over to LIV Golf. Those guys didn't. They stayed loyal to the PGA Tour. They know their reasons. They've expressed some of their reasons for staying loyal, history of the game, legacy of the tour, some of their feelings about where the money was coming from. All of those things factored for many players. Other guys went. Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson leading the charge. So now those guys get to come back with their money and compete on the PGA Tour. And the guys who stayed, they have nothing to show for it. Somewhere between a business deal gone bad and guys let down by their leadership in some regards as well.
Will somehow the rest of the players be compensated, the ones who held out? I mean, will this somehow make the PGA Tour more lucrative for them? Because otherwise, I'm not sure how they must feel. They must feel pretty upset.
It has become more lucrative for them for a variety of reasons. We're talking about Saudi Arabia's PIF, their public investment fund, which is part of their Project 2030 as they try to go to 13 different sectors and spread Saudi Arabia's impact around the world. There's also this thing called the PIP, which was the Player Impact Program. And that was a pool of money that the PGA Tour players got for who moved the needle the most. Everything from how often you're on TV to Google searches and all that. That came about with a little bit of this showing LIV at the doorstep and offering money. How do we get the best names more of the money than just having to go out and play for it? So they have received some money, but nowhere near what they could have otherwise. There are so many questions. What is this new entity going to look like? This for-profit entity, while the PGA Tour says it will remain a 501c6. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered in this. And at this point, this isn't an MOU. This is not a done deal. So the deal making is going to answer a lot of the questions that we all have right now.
And just back in February, LPGA star Anna Nordquist had ended her endorsement deal with Aramco due to backlash over their partnership. So again, you have that pushback in one direction with this bombshell announcement going completely the other way. So perhaps, as you intimated, there could still be something that makes this fall apart, or perhaps if the Saudis throw enough money at it, they can kind of push over some of those concerns. What do you think their ambitions might be next?
Kelly, this is a hard dance because everything from Jamal Khashoggi to 9/11 to sports washing, all of these and other human rights issues have come up regarding Saudi Arabia's government. On the flip side of this, you've seen Saudi Arabia continue to invest in and be a part of the sports world. And separately, let's look at the U.S. government relationship with Saudi Arabia. The Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, happens to be in Saudi Arabia doing a couple of days of meetings, which is furthering the meetings that President Biden went over to Saudi Arabia to have last year. The U.S. State Department just put out a memorandum today talking about the relationship between the United States government and Saudi Arabia, pointing to the 8 decades of partnership together along the way, and talking about building a new embassy in Riyadh. So the U.S. government is speaking and acting as if Saudi Arabia is a partner. That was the word used in the memo from the State Department today. So you parallel that with the concerns on the other side for what Saudi Arabia might be doing to clean up past transgressions with their money involved in American sports, where we hadn't seen international money dominate American sports. Sponsors, yes, here and there, but not dominate American sports as they tried to do here with LIV Golf. Fascinating, tough to answer. I don't think we have the answers right now, but man, this has really stunned the tour. A lot of the big names in golf had no idea this was coming.